Hello, more Bazaar. Today is patch day, patch 16. The invasion begins. This is another fairly standard patch, much like the last one. Not that that's a bad thing, but there's no like big overarching theme like the monster patch or anything like that. They've added some new encounters, improve your items, much like the improve your burn and ammo items, but for different types. There's some new merchants, some new monsters, very cool to see. Some reworks to pre-existing events, like Big is now legendary. And then some, you know, your usual buffs, nerfs, reworks to pre-existing items. I specifically like a lot of the Jules ones. Good changes. Yeah, maybe a bit on the smaller side for your average patch. I imagine because the devs are busy with this. There's another reveal here at the end of the patch notes, much like the Karnok one. Or at least that's what people are thinking. We've got this little boombox here with a dragon on top of it. Maybe a bit of like a toy theme as well. I could see that. Karnok was teased in a similar way. If we go down to patch 11 here and then all the way to the bottom, there was this little reveal here. Or teaser, I guess I should say. And then the very next patch, patch 12, Karnok was actually released. So there's a lot of hot fixes, as there usually is after a hero is out. But yeah, Karnok was out the month after. So maybe new hero next month? We'll see. I don't know. I don't want to get my expectations up and then, you know, doesn't end up being, you know, next month or a hero reveal at all. We'll see. I don't know. Maybe this is just for some event. I don't know. But a music-based hero would be very cool. It'd be neat to see, like, I don't know, maybe just music instrument tag added to stuff like Gonjo, gramophone, stuff like that. I think it's a tag people have kind of asked for a while. Anyway, let's get into the actual patch notes, but there's your little overview. As always, there's not a whole lot going on the screen, so if you just want to put this on in the background, that's okay. I would recommend it even. All that's going to be on the screen is the patch notes if you would like to read along. And I'll just be going through and giving my thoughts on stuff and talking about what changed. Anyway, without any more delay, let's get right into it. So ranking rating changes. We're making several adjustments to the current ranking system with the following goals. Make it harder to achieve legendary ranking. Okay. And then decrease the time to climb to your expected rating once you reach legendary. Reduce the punishment for not hitting 10 wins at high rating values. I like this. I like the sound of it anyway. We'll see how it actually feels. I don't know. I'm not someone who really tries to climb for the high legendary ratings. I just kind of play for fun. The game is fun. But there has been the occasional patch. I mean, one of them I got top 100, but when I was doing that, holy shit, it is really punishing to like even just get like a 9 win when you're that high up. And I don't know, you could maybe argue that it should be, I guess. But to me, it did not feel very fun. So I might like this new system more. Good change. I think I like it. We'll see. Legendary players now start at 800 rating. Sure. I guess you started at the bottom, right? Is how it worked before. Kind of cool. I guess it's maybe incentivized like hitting legendary early. I wonder. The before this change, right? Because you would, you know, get legendary early and you'd be like top 20 or something, right? And then maybe you could just stick there instead of having to grind through a bunch of games first. Anyway, sorry, I'm rambling. Rating loss has been significantly reduced, more so at the lower wins end. Okay. So yeah, if you have a really shitty game, I guess it won't tank your rating so much. Reduce the ranking point changes for gold and diamond tier, requiring higher average wins to achieve the next tier. Okay. Maybe a little harder to escape into ranked. Economy changes. This is a big one. Starting income is now 5 from 7. We're trying to shift some stuff around the economy, so we're lowering base income, but improving a variety of economy nodes. We'll have to see how this plays out. We kind of got an experiment with that event at the end of the season, right? With the packages, I guess, giving you a bit more money. Kind of, not really. I guess it was more XP. I mean, the later packages give you quite a bit of money. Anyway, yeah, I think I like this. We'll see. Tournament mode testing. Tournament mode has arrived for public testing. As this is a testing environment, be aware there may be bugs. In order to play tournament mode, you must switch to the public test realm branch on Steam. And then there's instructions to do that here. Tournament mode can be freely shared and streamed by all. Kind of cool. I'll have to look into this for sure. I really hope tournament mode allows you to do some custom nonsense. I would love to run some community tournaments of stuff like, I don't know, fucking start everyone with Diamond Lethargy and Bonk. That sounds awful, but you gotta see it once. I don't know, some shit like that, you know. Start everyone with would be a fun one. Start everyone with like a book of secrets. That'd be kind of cute. Super cool one. Let me like wink everyone at the start of the day. That'd be sick. But maybe, you know, that one sounds a little bit trickier to implement. But I hope there's a bit of support for custom stuff. I'll have to see. It sounds cool though. I like it a lot. Anyway, season 16 updates. There's some ranked title rewards if you're doing that. Arsonist, and then the usual ending. Prize pass updates: the Dunes carpet, Nash stash. Okay. And then some new skins for Jules, Mac, and oh, that's it. And then item skins for Dooley and Jules. I believe it is this skin here, and then this one here for Mac. Okay, both very cool. I like it. All right, we have a new monster, Annexed Army, Day 10 Diamond tier. What's interesting about this one, and maybe they just had it like this for the trailer. Yeah, here it is. For some reason, they're in the bronze fight placement. Again, maybe this is just like this for the trailer specifically. I don't know. Very weird. I wonder if that can lead to some kind of fucked up day 10s. What's the worst silver monster you can get here? You could get like, okay. There's been times in Infernal Dreadnought I've had some scary fights against Lord of the Waste, not recently, but it has happened. And then Tortuga. I feel like these three can actually kill you. So I wonder if you can get something like, you know, Diamond Fight these three. And then I don't know, your other monster is like Davy or some shit. Arkin is kind of scary on day 10. Awakened District can be. Frost Street, oh yeah, Frost Street's pretty brutal day 10. We'll have to see. And again, maybe it was just like that for the trailer. Aura Dome, this is a diamond tier encounter, spawns days 8+, improve your items without a cooldown. What's interesting about this one is all the like, you know, improve your burn items, improve your ammo items. It's always been like a like base overall upgrade for free, right? For ammo items, it's like +1 to all your ammo items. For burn, it's +3 to all your burn items, something like that. And then it's add crit to your leftmost ammo, burn item, etc., right? And then it's upgrade, and then it's enchant. I wonder what the second slot is going to be for this. Maybe there just won't be one. Maybe there will only be 3 options for Aura Dome. Because like you can't crit without a cooldown, right? Obviously. So I wonder what the second option is going to be. Also, what is the first option going to be? There's no like blanket improvement to that. I don't know. Maybe this will only be 2 options, upgrade and enchant. I guess we'll have to see. There is a new gold fight, day 7. They show his board here in the trailer. It's a tusk helm, sharpening stone. Why can't I think of this thing? Eagle talisman? Yeah. Keen eye, a new skill. Don't know what it does. This is use an item, gain 2. I think it's actually 4 rage. I think it got buffed in these patch notes. Enemy uses an item, gain 4 rage, and then the bear claw is also gaining rage. This is all your items have plus crit equal to the rage you gained, and then with a swashbuckle for the synergy for that. Kind of interesting. It also doubles its damage when you hit half HP, so I could actually see this being kind of a scary fight. Maybe. Have to go on for a while, and you'd have to just like not really defend. I feel like if you can ever get you to half HP, you're kind of screwed. But I don't know. I guess like fast boards could get kind of countered by this Bramble, right? Because he makes a lot of rage off that, and then that just becomes crit. I could see it. Anyway, Farmers Market, Diamond tier, Jules only, improve your food items. Again, another question for this one. I could see the crit here, right? That one makes sense. But what is going to be the like blanket improvement to all? I don't know. And maybe again, there just won't be one. Again, same thing with his launch tower. This is flying items, sell only. New merchant, private pitchfork, gold tier, day 6+, makes sense. Sells neutral items. So this is basically gold curio, but any tier. Pretty neat merchant. There's a lot of cool neutral items. You know, your cryo sleeve. There's the lifesteal rose or whatever the fuck it's called. Tinfoil hat. I believe she should also be able to sell the crystals from Crash Site, which I think is kind of interesting. Maybe we'll see. Also, she should just be able to sell all the Crash Site items, right? I mean, I already talked about tinfoil hat, but you could also get the destroy ray, whatever it's called, destroy adjacent items. And then when you destroy an item, shield for like 25% of your max HP. I wonder if you'll be able to buy the chocolates here. I don't know. I don't think I've ever gotten the chocolate or like candy mail from Pearl, so maybe that's just not an option, right? Can't be sold. I like how Teddy is still in the Bazaar DB logs. This thing doesn't exist anymore. What a silly item. But yeah, if you can get the syrups and stuff here, that's pretty good. You can of course get loot items, you know, coupons, reroll tokens, you know, like a diamond sharpening stone or crit. Kind of good. Ooh, Forgotten God mention? Whoa, huge. Cosmic Bloomage is kind of fun. Cosmic Amulet, I don't hate. Stuff like Magnifying Glass is honestly pretty sick if you see it at higher tiers. Plus 50. Moon Orb, Biomerge Arm. I like trying to make Hands of Time good. Is it? Sometimes. Ooh, Colossal Popsicle is kind of evil. You can get 2 icicles out of this. And then, of course, you can just get Curio stuff, but at higher tiers, so maybe you can actually play a Junkyard Lance pivot late game. I mean, I guess you always could from the Diamond 1 day 10, maybe. Oh, Upgrade Hammer is a good one, too. That's not too bad. Anyway, they didn't actually show her shop in the trailer, so I don't know if it's going to be like a full board like it is with Curio. I guess we'll see. I think it sounds like a very fun merchant. Cool to see. And then we have Robotics Factory here. This is improve your tech items for Stelle and Dooley. Same thing as the other ones, right? No idea what the blanket effect will be if there is one, but we'll see. Maybe there isn't. Salvage Yard. This one's kind of cool. This is Diamond Tier Days 4+. Transform your stash items into loot based on their tags. This one was shown in the trailer here, so you can see mostly weapons in the bag, and then that gets transformed into mostly sharpening stones, which seems very, very cool to just get a ton of those. I think it's a little bit, is it random? Okay, no. I thought for some reason Sky, the dragon, became like a bronze sharpening stone, but that doesn't look to be, it was just a box cutter. Okay, so it is tied to the tier. You can see Carpet here actually becomes a sharpening stone and an eagle talisman. Kind of cool, because it's got that crit tag, right? One thing that seems kind of scary about this, maybe, is I think you can kind of just farm, well, I don't know. It's a diamond tier encounter, so it's not very common, right? I don't know if you can really plan around something like this. But you could farm like a fuck ton of gunpowders out of this, right? If gunpowder is able to be given, which I don't see why it wouldn't be. You could just have a bunch of guns in your bag, see this, and then get like, I don't know. If they're all diamond, it's what, like +4 each? So you'd be like, holy shit, you could put like 40 ammo in something if you had all diamond guns and they all become gunpowder. +4 times 10, yeah. That sounds fucking absurd, but you know, probably not a very common event. But I could see farming gunpowders with this for sure on like Vanessa. We'll see how it feels. Sticky Beans, very cool merchant. Gold tier, day 6+, sells items from other heroes. This is basically just Pearl, but if it costs money. But I still fuck with it. I mean, to be fair, Pearl can give you items from your own hero. But I do like him a lot. I love off-class stuff. This guy does also sell a full board. I guess that's a difference between Pearl as well. Yeah, you can see here he sells a full board of items, and there's actually a new item here. Also, I think teasing this this dragon hero people are talking about. This is an event poster. Again, sells items from other heroes, and then this just doesn't have a hero icon. Kind of suspicious, maybe. But this is a charge 2 other dragon items, and then adjacent items are dragons. Kind of interesting. It's basically like what, a capacitor, but weird. Very cool little guy. I fuck with it. I love doing off-class bullshit with this game. It's very, very fun, and I like seeing more opportunities to do that. Minus like 1% Barcoon rate though. Oh fuck, my wins. No. I don't know. I do somewhat get the off-class merchant complaint. I've seen that a little bit from like people who play a bit more ranked. I think this shit's fun. I don't know. I'd rather have it than not. I had a couple people on the last patch notes video who was like, why are you upset the Antiquarian's gone from Stelle? It was not very good. And it's like, yeah, I know, but like, it's fun. I had some cool Antiquarian Stelle around. Sorry, I'm rambling. Anyway, Tomb of Ancients. This is another improve your items, but for relics instead, Mac only. Wishing Founder. Sorry, Wishing Founder. What am I saying? I think I merge these two words in my brain. Wishing fountain, this is gold tier all day. Make a wish for random items. No fucking clue what that means, but I assume you get an item for free, and yeah, that's about it. I assume it's free. Maybe it's paid. Maybe you gotta pay like 1 gold. That'd be kind of cute, right? Anyway, now we're on to the encounter changes. We're on to, let's see, first, free item encounters, right side options. These have the rarity. Sorry, these now have a rarity and give items of that rarity. These will generally offer on average higher rarity than you can get in shops or other nodes of the same day. Very cool. I like that. It's fun. Not only are you going to make a bit more money on average off clicking, you know, right side, get a small friend, but maybe it'll even be a tier that's worth playing. I like that. It's fun. Apothecary double node is now 5 gold from 10. That's fair. Was the other one also changed? Doesn't look like it. Okay, fair enough. Honestly, I didn't really double the apothecary ever, but I did double the artisan dunes quite a bit. I guess artisan dunes would be right here because it's alphabetical. Sorry. Let's see. Borrow is now days 1 to 2 only. That's fair. It's usually when you want to click it anyway. Big is, I mean, it was still good later, but anyway. Big is now, I guess they don't give too many details other than he's a champion. Why is he silver? Now legendary tier. Very fair, very good change. I hope his board is like actually difficult. Champion's belt is the legendary this guy had. It's plus 5% max HP as plus damage to your left and right weapons of this item. Sorry, I butchered that description. But it was a very like generic, I don't know. I like it, but it is a bit generic of a legendary and a bit maybe like too, I guess generically good is a way to put it. Pretty much everyone can use that shit and it's not very hard to, and it was on a fight that was like pretty pathetic. I have lost to it once. It was in a wink run. But it was with a horrifically bad board. So I'm excited to see what he's doing now. Hopefully, again, actually difficult. Cache of Riches, now 5, 7, 10 gold from 3, 4, 5. Good change, I like that. So yeah, this is the economy improvements they were talking about. And then Far Eye is back to gold tier, and then this, yeah, it's just reverting to back before the event. And then they've corrected an issue where if you had a package, you would get the 2 options of like take another package or go to the shop for the package you have, and those would appear randomly, which sometimes got people. Futura, I think this is the lethal option. Upgrade your items to gold is now just upgrade items 1 tier. So I don't know if you're somehow lugging around a board of all bronze, I guess this is worse, but no, very, very good change. Obviously, I like that a lot. Much more pickable. Invest in yourself is now 1 income, 2 income, 3 income for days 1, 2, 3, 4, and then 5, 6. Okay, and 3 income, maybe kind of cool. It's okay. It's a little late. I don't know. Income just in general is always a little bleh to pick if you have to. Let's see. Library is now day 3+. I think it was maybe day 2+ before, or I guess. Look for spare change now spawns 4 spare change. So for like money tree stuff, money furnace, also just more money in general, right? But at silver, you're making 8 gold off this. Kind of cool. You will need the inventory space for it, I suppose. That might be a little awkward. You know, overall, obviously a buff though. Mod Squad gained a new interesting item. Beautiful Friendship is now silver tier. I don't know what the first line means, but cool, I guess. Mountain Pass reduced some of the gold rewards from this encounter. I would imagine this is mainly the gain 20 gold. That one's kind of nuts. Strange Mushroom, trade it for something now gives a medium item. That's a bit sad. Trade it for something was get a neutral item. That's kind of fun. I don't know. This is like a nothing change. It's fine. I guess it's overall better. Yeah, sure. I guess. Tester is now Dooley and Stelle and hero items only. Sad to see it go. Again, I like fucking around with this off-class stuff, but you know, I'll take it if it means we finally get sticky beans in the game. Truffle farming is now spawned 2 truffles. Cool. Also, by the way, Stelle had a tech tag added to some items, so we'll see that later. Kind of cool. And then Dooley, of course, you know, you could do some railgun shenanigans, set that up a little bit easier. Kind of cool. Anyway, sorry. Wink, this is a fucking awesome change. Now give 10 prestige. I love it. Hell yeah. I want to live in a world where wink is the right thing to do, and it's not bad. I don't know. On average, this is probably only gonna buy you like a day, but that's probably fine. I think the issue with most wink runs is that you're gonna click wink and then just like lose the day, and that kind of offsets that, which I like a lot. Good change. I do wonder, can you be shown wink multiple times in a run? I'm not actually sure on that. I think I've seen it before. You could just get like double your prestige in a run. More than that if you get the other event that gives you prestige, right? You get an Arcan ring on top. We're going to like day 30. Really, really cool. I like this change a lot. I wonder if I don't know how much I can talk about this test server, but I do check in there occasionally. I was like, hey, what if there was a wink skill that your next loss didn't reduce prestige? Mainly because I just want a fucking wink skill. I want to know who winked. Maybe this is a skill. I would love that. Please show me who winked. I want to know. Also, it's like insane rage bait. If I click wink and then I get like 15 people coming into the stream and like, is this a wink board, Lamau? And yeah, it is. Anyway, yeah, I've been fucking with wink. It's fun. It's not good. Or sorry, it wasn't good. Maybe it's good now. And I like that, because it is very fun. Anyway, corrected a number of tag and hidden tag inconsistencies with skills. Sure, I guess. Creeping chill, frostfire. So this is all the do X freeze for number of seconds. These are now standardized to 2, 3, 4 seconds. So like I believe stunning strike specifically was like 2 seconds ahead of everything else or something like that. Probably because it's a little harder to crit on every. Maybe not really. I think that was the one that was out of line. I don't remember these other ones being different, but maybe I'm misremembering. I think maybe initial chill might have been the like least before. Anyway, I think this is actually an overall nerf, right? Yeah, here we go. Here they all are. So yeah, creeping chill, frostfire, paralytic. Yeah, it is just stunning strike that's out of line. Okay. And no, it isn't an overall nerf. Okay, I was kind of hoping for it, honestly. I fucking hate free skills. But oh well, that's okay. Anyway, finesse shield added to Jules, Stelle, and Karnok from Dooley only. The first 8 times you haste, charge a shield item 1 second. Okay, not too bad. I don't know. It sounds kind of gross with like Soul of District, I suppose, or like shielded enchanted item. Kind of neat. What else are you doing with this? You could, I don't know, Jules apron maybe? Apron so back? Probably not. Yeah, it seems like a cool skill. I fuck with it. Not the following items are now silver tier. So Gorgon Spore, Icicle, Lag Bolt, Magma Core, Spark Plug. These are all the start of fight do X. So you can no longer find them at Curio. You can still find them at what's their name? What's the new merchant called? Private Pitchfork. But you know, obviously that's a gold merchant. Curio is only bronze, or no, he's silver. Never mind. They did it though. They actually nerfed Magma Core. Which is an incredibly funny change. I love it. Magma Core is too OP. They had to kill him. Anyway, Candy Mail. Here, I'll talk about all of these together. Candy Mail, Chocolate, and then also Super Syrup have been reworked. It is now at end of fight. Adjacent items permanently gain 20, 40, 60, 80 shield. This one's damage. And then this is 10, 20, 30, 40 crit, and then permanently destroy this item. So it's no longer got the ammo thing. You don't have to greed fights as much for it, or like it's not as annoying to. I like it. There was a little bit of tech to be had with the, you know, almost using it up and then you upgrade it to reload it, and that was kind of cool to do, but yeah, this sounds a lot more humane. It was cool tech. It was really annoying tech, and I don't think I'll miss it that much. I do wonder if there's any destroy fuckery with the end of fight permanently destroy. Is there? I don't know. I feel like there has been in the past with like scaling up a Momosaur before a fight. No, I think that got fixed some time ago. Okay, never mind. I think I'm just delusional. Dragon Wing is now cooldown 6 from 7. Cool, I guess. Junkyard Club and Junkyard Repair Bot no longer give the plus damage and plus heal on sell. Instead, it's get 2 loot items. So these are also like free to buy at both vendors, right? Because you buy this for 4, sell it for 2, and then sell the 2 loot items for 1. I guess one of the loot items you could get could be the raffle token or whatever the fuck it's called, which could just sell for 0 immediately. Raffle ticket did get changed, by the way. I might as well talk about that while I'm on the subject. This is now when you level up, set this item's value between 0 and 5, 10, 20, 40. So it's like crypto, but bad, but better than it was. I was not a big fan of this item before, but now you can just keep it around until it's actually worth selling. I like that. Yeah, also at a private pitchfork, you can buy this for, how much are, it's 16, right? Yeah, 16, sell it for 8, and then sell 4 and 4. I don't know why I'm blanking on that. I should know the fucking item prices by now. Eek. And I do, I would hope. Anyway, reroll token. Shiny now spawns another reroll token. What, just after you sell it? That's silly. What did Shiny do before? Oh, Shiny before apparently did double damage bonus. Yep. That makes a lot of sense. It's a shame it's getting replaced. I guess the enchant was too OP, yeah. This is temporary shelter. Rip to a real one. Cooldown 6, shield 61, 20, 240, 480. Who cares? No one's playing this thing for the shield, man. And then when you sell this, get 2 scrap. No longer scale shield. I don't love this one. I kind of wish they just keep old temporary shelter. It works sometimes, and it's very funny when it does. I kind of fucked with it. I think Junkyard Club, Junkyard Repair Bot, those can die. I don't care about that. This is my goat. I kind of want him back, but we'll see. Maybe I won't miss him. Anyway, Dooley, some new skills. Your leftmost relic has +1 multicast, which is very cool. Dooley has a couple ways to make stuff relics. I think he even has doesn't he just have a skill that your leftmost item is a relic? Yeah, here we go. You have primal energy, leftmost weapon is a relic. You have a gold skill, leftmost item is a relic. And then I guess that's it. But you can set up that 2 skill combo. To be fair, this sounds like, yeah, definitely a diamond skill, right? So not super easy to assemble, but you can just put multicast on whatever, which sounds very strong. Especially, I don't know. It's a bit 50-50. I was gonna say leftmost is good because you can do, you know, fiber optics bullshit with it, put something fast to the left of the core, stuff like that, right? But also maybe you want press to be your leftmost item and then you're giving it multicast with a skill, and then that makes it a bit awkward, like fiber optic. You could battery it. Although does it? No, you just can't have any other relics on the board. No, that's not very hard at all. Okay. Because press would just be a relic through the nature of being pressed. Yeah. The leftmost relic plus this maybe a little awkward with some other stuff though. I don't know, maybe you could set up some funky like force field stuff. That'd be kind of cool. Very interesting skill. Data transfer. This was when you use a tech item, adjacent items gain 369 damage. Is now just use a tech item. All of your items gain 246 damage. Cool skill. Sounds a lot better now. Honestly, I feel like this sounds pretty good. We'll see. Right? I don't know. That sounds really strong. Maybe I'm losing it. Liquid Cool is now 2/4 triggers from 510 and no longer has the size restriction. This is use the core, freeze a smaller item, but you know, no longer size. But it is instead of 510, 2/4, which is a lot less than it was at Diamond. And just a lot less in general. To be fair, the skill was ridiculous. It was kind of just like an always take on Dooley. That shit's gross. I think it'll still probably be fine. 4 seconds of freeze. That's fine. Primal energy skill damage buff to 5, 10, 20, 40. Oh, that's the skill here. So this used to be 20 at Diamond and now it's 40. It does the doubling thing that most stuff is doing now. The oiled machine is use a core, reduce an item's cooldown by 5%. Now it is 8%. Cool change. 3D printer is now Diamond tier only. Rip to a real one. I don't know. I feel like the only thing I was really doing with printer that was like consistently good is you do fiber optic bullshit with it, right? Most other stuff takes almost too long to start. It's a very cool item, but oh well. Maybe a bit too good. Maybe. I don't know. This is an interesting one. It's definitely good. I don't know if I'd ever call printer like OP. I feel like there's a lot of boards where printer just doesn't really need to be there. I don't know. I don't know how to feel about this one. Maybe a little sad. Anyway, Angry Balloon Bot is now 5-second cooldown and has 25 and 50 base damage. Holy. Get ready. It's the patch of Angry Balloon Bot. I can feel it. This guy's gonna go fucking crazy. Maybe. I don't know. He's not that great. If you can ever get shielded on this guy, he's kind of sick though. I'll have to try for that. Armored core base shield, I guess. I think this was only like 20 before. Yeah, it was 20 base shield before. But now that is 40, 80, and then 160. So a bit higher base shield. Quite a bit higher at diamond actually, plus like 140. Kind of nice. Beta ray is now cooldown at 6 from 7. Cool down. Sorry. A neat change for the ray builds, I guess. I haven't seen too many of those. Charcoal is now actually nerfed at bronze, which is interesting. It is now 2, 4, 6, 8 burn instead of 3, 4, 5, 6 burn. So it is better at gold and diamond specifically. I don't know who is playing diamond charcoal. I'm gonna be real though. It does not sound very good. I don't know. I guess with printer going up to diamond, you can't do it. Well, I mean you could, but it's a lot rarer too, right? There was one board I've had in the past, which was cool with charcoal. I had printer charcoal with a fire claw. So it was basically like use a friend, gain what? It's yeah, it'd be 24 burn. And I believe the fire claw was fiery too, so it was actually 48 burn. That was a really cool one. That's like the only time I've been able to play this guy late, but maybe he's awesome and I just don't know. Critical core, the core, primal core, weaponized core. Damage is now 40 base, 80, and then 160. So that is a early on nerf to critical core and the core, but a buff to early weaponized and primal core. And then otherwise a buff overall. Actually, I think the core just strictly nerfed, right? Yeah. Everything else improved. I think that's okay. I don't know. The core is more so utility anyway. Crude tools now cooldown is 543 from 765. Now charges relics as well, and the cooldown reduction has been removed. So you just play this as a 3-second charge all your tech items 1, charge all your relics 1, both even. Kind of cool. Doesn't sound terrible with primal core. I can see it. Cryosphere now cooldown is 11-10 seconds, and the freeze is just 2. What? Cryosphere nerf? Am I missing something? Am I losing my damn mind? Is this some shit I didn't know about that the Doolies were doing? Cryosphere. I never saw one this season. I think I played one, but it was kind of difficult too. I played it with a Dooley scarf and it wasn't too bad. Maybe that's why. I don't know. I really didn't see Cryosphere, but I don't know. I guess it wasn't too bad when I played it. Maybe it was being played and like had a super high win rate, but no one was playing it. If that makes sense. Yeah, Cryosphere Dooley scarf was pretty good. Interesting. Weird nerf. I didn't expect this, but I kind of see it. Because of Dooley scarf, you could set up boards that was just kind of permafreeze. Interesting. Weird. Anyway, sorry, moving on. I spent too long on that. Flintstones is now burn 3, 6, 9, 12 instead of 4, 6, 8, 10. So a nerf at specifically bronze by 1, but everything else is improved. Ignition core base burn is now 4, 8, 12 instead of just base 4. Does that save this thing from being terrible? Probably not. I'm sorry, I'm not a fan. Missiles, damage scaling to 5, 10, 20 instead of 5, 10, 15. Cool, I guess. I've seen some late game missiles boards sometimes. Wasn't this how it was in the initial rework? I believe so, right? You saw a lot of missiles back then. Maybe it'll make a comeback? Yeah, probably not. Nanobots change a little bit. I believe this was damage per small friend before. Or no, it is just each friend, sorry. I might be thinking of like a super old version of nanobots then. I was wondering what the change is here, but I guess the change is that they no longer do the cooldown thing? Actually, I guess they're just restating how it scales, sorry. Anyway, it is now 10, 20, 40 instead of 15, 20, 25. So a lot better at diamond, plus 15. A little bit nerfed at silver, that's okay. Maybe nanobots are gonna be awesome. The full nanobot board of like 2025. Probably not. You can only get like 3 of them now. I mean, I guess you could sell DJ Robot after and buy more. Maybe. Race Carl cooldown to 8 was 987, and then the damage is now 100, 200, 400. Whoa. That's kind of cool. It's not bad base damage. It's just like, it's very comparable to like Armadillo, isn't it? It's actually more than Armadillo at Diamond. To be fair, I don't think Armadillo's that great at Diamond. Maybe this will be the same thing, but I don't know. It doesn't sound terrible. 400 per. You get some crit in there. I can see it. Trojan is now cooldown 4 from 6, and the poison now 816 instead of 36. Holy shit, what a buff. Makes sense. I had never see this thing. If you don't know this one, by the way, this is a charge all tech items, including the opponent, and then when any tech is used, poison. Interesting, I guess. I don't know, I kind of see it now, maybe. It is a lot of poison. I could maybe see it on like a Korra board, right? Anyway, Wallace cooldown 3 seconds. The shield scaling is a little bit lower at bronze, is now 5, 10, 20, 40 instead of 5, 20, 30, 40. But it actually has the same scaling at diamond, but half the cooldown. And also, ooh, scales shield before applying shield. So it's going to gain the 40. That's really cool. The fucking Wallace upscale. It's real. It is now Dooley's like fastest friend. You know, without having to be fucking diamond like the rest of them, like Copperhead and Chris. This is huge news. My last maybe it wasn't my last Dooley, one of the Dooley videos this season, I joked about Red and Wallace with Bunker and Robotic Factory. What if though? What if I did do that? It'd go crazy, right? For sure. Plus 40 per. Holy, that's definitely enough, right? I want to believe. I'll try it for sure. Anyway, welding helmet is now burn 3, 6, 9, 12 instead of 3, 5, 7, 9. Okay, so a bit higher diamond. Cool. Yellow mantis is now just base 5 seconds cooldown instead of going from 7, 6, 5 cooldown. Good change. I like it. All right, Jules changes. There's a lot of good ones in here, and I definitely feel like she was struggling a lot this patch, so I'm happy to see it. Start of run, you can now start with either a stove or cooler. I've seen some people taking this to mean it's random. I think it means you get to pick, right? I don't know. I guess we'll see. Like, I don't know. The can to me makes it sound like you get to pick, but I don't know. We'll see. Chef Brolin level up now appears on level 3 instead of add cooler, and the add stove cooler options now give the matching item. Okay, so yeah, you can just make a board of like, again, if you get to pick this one, I'm assuming you can, but you could just pick stove, 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 right? Very interesting. And then also you get items matching that type. So if you get a stove item, you could get I don't know, noodles is the first thing coming to mind. What's some other ones? Dragon steak, stuff like that. Kind of cool. All right, cheese wheel buff, huge. I honestly, I feel like this item was already a little bit slept on, but now it's getting a 1 second buff. So now it's 765 seconds instead of 876. And then the base shield is now 20 instead of 5, which I think is a pretty big deal. The hardest thing to play cheese wheel was just having a shield skill. If you had one of those, you can do it. Usually. But now if you just go fast enough, maybe you don't even need that anymore, right? Cooler is now shield 30 instead of 15, 30, 45, so it's just base 30. When you freeze, this becomes chilled and gains 15, 30, 60 shield from chilled for 2 seconds. Huh? So it's chilled forever. It sounds like it's just chilled forever. Okay, interesting. That doesn't sound like it matters too much, but it is, I guess, you know, if it doesn't matter that much, why is this conditional even here? Yeah. Anyway, and then it's also 15 more shielding at diamond, the scaling anyway. Cornucopia, now a 3-second cooldown. Okay. From 4, heated effect now charges chilled, and chilled effect now charges heated. Okay. Interesting. A lot more playable because, you know, obviously the issue with this item is you'd want to charge a bunch of heated items, but to do that you had to have, you know, I don't know. I guess with the ability to just choose what stoves you want, maybe that's why this change was made actually, because you could just take 3 stoves, which you could do before with Jules Cafe, right? But a little harder to. I do like it though, something to encourage having different, you know, types, stoves and coolers. I also wonder if this change was made probably because of the cooldown reduction, right? Because you could pair this with, before a not terrible thing to do was you could pair Cornucopia with, yeah, here it is, Jumbo Walk, charge your other heated items 1-2 seconds, and you could like, not quite make an infinite, but you could get a very fast charge engine going and then just charge whatever you wanted. A cheese wheel, perhaps. An interesting rework. I think I like it. Durian is now back to bronze and is slowing, what, 2, 3? It's the same, but, you know, slow 2 at bronze. And the shield is the same, but it's shield 10 at bronze. Let's see, this change was originally made because there was a lot of apron Durian going around. Was apron nerfed in any way? I don't think so. Oh wait, you know what? I forgot that they upped it to 7 seconds. Mainly, I think to offset the timing, because Durian is 6 second, right? Before, they were both 6 seconds. You'd have apron go off, then Durian, and it was very, very silly. You can still fix the timings with something like, you know, coffee or black pepper. Make the apron go off first before the Durian. So maybe we'll see more apron Durian. It's been a little while. I wouldn't hate it for a little bit. Hopefully it doesn't come back entirely though. It was not great. I wouldn't mind if it was like viable at least, right? Dragon Steak. This is a cool one. I've seen this one already. This is burn equal to this item's crit chance from 10, so it no longer has the base burn, but the what's this? Oh, okay. So its base crit chance is now 2550. So it does have base burn through that, I suppose, right? Also, importantly, its burn equal to its item's crit chance is no longer tied to being heated. Instead, it has a new heated effect. Your other items have plus 25, 50% crit chance. The main combo I see for this, of course, is you pair this with, what's it called? Santoku Knife. And then you can just give the 50% crit back to Dragon Steak and make this a... Yeah, Diamond, this is a 5 seconds. So that would be every 5 seconds burn, what, 200? Yeah, 200. Unless the cooldown was changed and they just didn't mention it. Which... sounds pretty good. You still need some other ways to chart it and probably, you know, stack crit into it. But I do like that it has some base burn to actually work with. I don't see this item too much, especially since the caviar change, right? Deadly on this thing sounds kind of nice because I bet it's going to double this and also double this. So instead of doing, you know, 100 crit with the Santoku Knife combo, it's now 200 total. So you're doing 400 every 5. And that doesn't sound too bad at all. Anyway, cool rework. You can also just play this as a, you know, medium item that says give your other items 50% crit, and I bet that's not too terrible. Alrighty, Farmer's Market no longer gives max HP on sell. Cool. I never really paid attention to this. I think this is still a very strong item. Let's see, Emu had its scaling, you know, on the curve everything else is on now, so it's 369 instead of 468, so slight nerf at bronze, but a little bit better at diamond. Who cares? Sure. Lao Lao. Chilled is now reduces items cooldown by 2 seconds, so it goes down to a 3-second cooldown. Kind of cool. It's still just worse noodles. I guess Noodles has the other conditional that maybe you can't do, but you could do Lalo. But this also has the, burn equal to this item's regen. So I could maybe see that with a farmer's market, right? 3-second burn equal. I guess it's only burn equal to 1% of your max HP. That's not too crazy. Maybe I could see it though. I like it more than the previously existing crit chance. It was like when this item's chilled to gain like, I don't know, it had like 15, 20 crit. It was not super exciting. Meat Grinder starts at bronze tier, okay. And then the damage is 20, 40, 80, 160. This is using an adjacent item. Deal damage, and then it also charges your adjacent foods. Can you play this thing early with like a Noodles and have it be okay? Not really. I don't know. Maybe you could play it with Noodles and I don't know, just like a carving knife on the side. Maybe. Or carving fork, I mean. I'll have to see. I don't know. Maybe it's awesome. I don't feel like 20 damage will be enough. You can probably play this later on once your board expands. I'm just thinking about day one because it's a bronze item. I don't really see the line for day one, but you can obviously maybe play it later with like a knife set or something, carving knife to scale it. I think the ideal setup is you get cutting board, but that's a silver item. Anyway, refrigerator starts at bronze. This is shield 10, 20, 40, 80 from 30, 60, 90. And then regen 2, 4, 6, 8 when you use a chilled item or freeze instead of when you freeze. If you don't remember what this item does, here you go. This is chilled adjacent items are chilled. So I could kind of see it on day one. Okay, it's kind of cool. You put a Noodles next to this thing, it's like what, every 2 seconds, shield 10, regen 2? Maybe. It's not a food, so you can't scale that with prep station. How are you scaling it then? Pumpkin? Maybe. That feels a little odd. I guess I could see it though. How else are you scaling this? I don't know. Seems like a cool addition of the bronze tier though. I kind of fuck with it. Anything that might make prep station not just the go-to every single time. Rolling pin damage scaling to 25, 50, 100, 200. So mostly the same up until gold and diamond, where it's plus 25 and then double what it was at 200 now. Kind of cool. I remember the days of rolling pin being genuinely really, really good. And then it got kind of axed. Maybe it's viable at diamond again. We'll have to see. I do have a soft spot for this item. It was very fun when it was good. I played a shit ton of this. Santoku is now silver tier. Cooldown is 4 seconds though, and then the damage is 10, 20, 40. Sure. So you scale your own crit off Santoku a bit faster. I believe this gains 10 crit per use. Sure, I guess. Salt. This is an interesting one. I've also seen this before. This is starts at gold tier, cooldown 3 from 5, 4, 3. Adjacent items gain 10, 20 crit, and when you crit, burn 3 and then 6. This sounds fucking silly with Spice Rack, doesn't it? Spice Rack being when you crit with an adjacent item, your items gain burn. So this is, you put those together, you can be playing like a Noodles that's just like every 2 seconds do a crit burn and then also another burn, and that's not even mentioning the other items on your board that are also probably critting, right? That sounds very, very silly. And then of course you could have other ways to scale this. Dragon skill, maybe you could have when you crit just gain burn through the skill, right? The cooldown 3, so you could maybe even conflag it. I could see it. Anyway, sorbet. This is when you crit with another item from when you crit, so you can't self-charge sorbets anymore. A little sad to see. It was very silly, but maybe a bit too strong. T-Siphon's burn is now 8, 16, 24 from 8, 12, 16. Sure. Jumbo Walk is now burn 6, 12 instead of 6, 9. This is when you regen or burn with another food, right? Or sorry, it's when you shield or regen with another food burn. I guess if it was burn, it would just infinite itself. Yeah, good point. And then Ulu Knife's got a cool change here. This is chill to haste this 1 second. So finally a Ulu Knife, also importantly being when this is hasted, adjacent items gain 5 crit. It goes up to like 10. Yeah, here we go. 5, 10, 15, 20 crit. So it's a 3-second once it gets going, of course. And it's also providing crit. So I could actually see that on like an early weapons board. It's not like just a dead item. I've never seen Ulu knife be good, but it doesn't sound too bad in early weapons now. I like it. Good change. All right, Karnok. While you're in rage, your items have plus 10, 20, 30, 40 crit chance from, so 10 minus 10% across the board. It's fine. It was a very good skill. I think it's still a good skill. Battle Axe is now 100 base damage from 60, 120, 180, 240. And now when you enrage, this gains 60, 120, 240, 480 damage from 60, 120. So at gold and diamond, it's better. At diamond, it's actually doubled. And then at gold, it is plus 60. Kind of cool. I don't know if anyone's really been fucking with diamond battle axe ever, but maybe we'll see it now. This has always been mostly an early game item to me, and after the nerf, I haven't seen it too much. I don't think it's like completely awful though. And you know, maybe this base damage will help it out. It's what, plus 40? It's okay. Not the worst. Beast Call is now 4 seconds cooldown across the board, and haste an adjacent friend 1, 2, 3, 4 seconds. Okay, I guess. Weird. So it's like squirrel or coffee, you know, all of these, but only for friends. Weird. I don't know how I feel about that one. I didn't really like Beast Call until Diamond before, but maybe this is cool. Fairy Circle, when you slow or freeze one of your items, charge it by 1, and then at Diamond it's now 1.5 seconds, which a lot of people saw this and were like, what the fuck, they buffed Fairy Circle? That's crazy. And I would agree. I think this item is really disgusting. I'm honestly surprised I don't see it more. But there is a nerf here, actually. This is now when you slow or freeze one of your own items. So no longer are you just going to match into a slow board and then win for free. Or the inverse happen and you slow the hell out of a Karnok board and it benefits them. I was not a big fan of that, so I'm glad to see that change. But you know, if you're doing self-slow, obviously this is still an item that should probably be on your board. I like it. Messenger Sparrow, now cooldown is 654 seconds instead of 543. Silver Sparrow, made worse, and that's the only tier I ever see this fucking thing at. So I'll probably just still not play it. I don't know. I can never find upgrades for this thing. It's so sad. Oh well. That's a me issue. I don't know. It's probably fine at 4 seconds, honestly. I don't have much experience though. I can never get this thing upgraded. Anyway, resistance bands. Cool change here. This is again 1% max health instead of 10, 20, 40. Band being 6, 5, 4 seconds when you gain rage, charges 1 second. So it will pause while you are enraged. A little scary. I mean, it's still a 4-second item, but this sounds very cool. I like it. Also, maybe a reason to run Lycan is a thought, because it would make enraging take longer. I could maybe see it. I don't know. This sounds really cool. I hope it's actually good. We'll see. I don't know. I think a lot of the max HP boards don't really actually care about it. You know, if you're playing the sigils, you're probably just playing machete and that's how you're killing, right? If you're playing bear or claymore, you're, you know, I think you're just one-shotting within, or, you know, killing within a couple seconds. You don't really care about the scaling from this. But maybe in some like karst build, it could be cool. I could see that, you know, lower the duration of the rage might help. I guess karst, I don't know. Sounds like a fun change though. Anyway, Steel Bramble, when enemy uses an item, gain 2/4 rage. Oh, I think I said that this was 4 earlier at gold. It is not. Okay, sure, cool, I guess. Wolverine buff, kind of. It is now 8-second cooldown baseline, so a bit better early, and then base damage is 20 instead of 10. Okay. And then the damage scaling is now 10, 20, 40 instead of 10, 20, 30. I guess. I don't think Wolverine's gonna do fucking anything. He's a loser. It might be like one of the most pathetic items in the game, but maybe, I don't know, maybe the 10 damage buff Wolverine meta. Maybe. Mac Frozen Secrets got reworked. This used to be when you use a relic freeze, is now the first 4 to 8 times you use a relic, charge a freeze item. This sounds really cool with, yeah, here we go. Frozen Horror, you pair this with like a library, you go down to a 2-second, right? So this is every 1 second for the first like 8 uses, right? It's 8. I believe. Yeah. Uh, so every 1 second, freeze 3 items for 1, assuming you have the ammo for it. So I guess that's something you gotta solve. But that does sound very, very cool. I like it. And I'm sure there's some other stuff you can do with it as well. Calcinator, cooldown to 6 from 7, burn and base is 8, and it no longer costs gold to generate chunks of lead. And that's because the chunks of gold, the sell prices have been reduced to 2, 4, 6, 8 instead of 3, 5, 7, 9. So I think I like that. No longer costing money seems nice for the sake of inventory nonsense. It does matter this cooldown change a little bit for the sake of strength potion. Strength potion was a 6-second, and it has a slight delay before it actually gives the crit, so you got to speed that up somehow now if you want to, have your calcinator crit in the first use. Anyway, Orly, when you crit, this and another item start flying. Okay, that's cute. I like that. So no longer Orly will just fly himself and then nothing happens. Good change. Cool and ink. If this is not adjacent to a weapon, it has 1 multicast instead of if you have no other weapons. I like the idea of a conditional like this. I think this might be the most nothing conditional in the game. Oh man, I can't have my coolant ink next to a weapon. I don't know. I think it's mostly for flavor, and that's fine. I like it still. But I can't imagine this is ever going to actually matter. But it is cute flavor, so. Yeah, now you can play coolant ink on your refractor boards and whatnot. Sounds okay. Rainbow Staff burn poison up to 6, 12, 18 instead of 6, 9, 12. It sounds okay, I guess. Retort is now poison 8, so similar change to the calcinator. No longer costs money. Didn't get the cooldown buff though, but that's fine. Spider Fern base poison is now 4, 8, 12 instead of 4, 6, 8, so a bit higher at diamond. Test subject alpha cooldown to 5 baseline instead of 6, 5. The base damage is now 100, and then the poison amount for using adjacent item, poison both players, is now 30, 60 instead of 30, 50. He's alright. I don't know. I've had decent success with this, the bracers and the wind dragon. It was kind of a cool board. And you scale off the self poison is the idea, right? It's a neat item. I don't see him a whole lot though. Probably because he is a little hard to play into, but I like it. And I don't know, plus 10 per is not bad. Thronet gains trap type, sure. Vat of Acid's base burn and poison is now 5, 10 instead of 6, 12, I guess. Why? Pygmalien. Let's see. Industrialist, this is the cooldown of your properties. And then prime real estate, when you use a property, adjacent items gain 5, 10, 15 crit. Reinforced steel, when you use a property, your items gain 5, 10, 15 damage and shield. These now also include vehicles, which I guess is kind of cool. Pygmalien has 6 total vehicles through pontoon, model ship, private jet. I could see being good. Okay, I see that one. What else? Ice cream truck? Maybe ice cream truck with the crit. I could see snowmobile mentioned. Oh, I get it now. Yep, it's broken. This shit is OP. But I kind of see it for jet, the crit one anyway. Reinforced steel jet, I guess, is okay-ish. I don't know. Pontoon with the reinforced steel doesn't sound too terrible because you're probably playing jet with that anyway, and you're using vehicles fairly quickly. And then the cooldown for vehicles and stuff, also good for the. I don't know. It sounds fine, I guess. Let's see. Abacus is now 4-second baseline instead of 5, 4, 3, and then the value in combat has been increased by 5 at all tiers. So 10, 15, 20. Jabalian drum is now silver. Ooh. And then it hastes the weapon that was used for 1, 2, 3 seconds. The damage buff is now 3, 6, 12. Okay. Current Jabalian drum is just 5, 10. I wonder if we're going back to a Jabalian drum meta? I remember the days. I guess Snowmobile isn't charging off haste anymore. But I mean, Silver Yo-Yo exists again. Maybe we're going back to Jabalian drum. A lot of Pig's small weapons are back to being actually good. Oh shit, we are going back. Maybe. I don't know. Maybe the meta is just too different now. But I could see it for sure. Ledger. It's been a while since drum's been viable, I guess. It's been kind of locked at gold, and it's a little hard to pivot into, I feel. It's definitely like a tempo item, which is also a little bit awkward. Cool though. Ledger, mostly the quality of life changed to make this item require less shuffling. Now gives value to the leftmost and rightmost items. Okay. Sure, I guess, instead of the items to the left and right of Ledger. Skyscraper multicast 2 base instead of if you have 5 or less items plus 1 multicast. Okay. So maybe you could do like a wide value scaling board idea with like a PenFT. Is that anything? Let's see, PenFT at diamond is +5 value, right? You would probably play model ship with this. Here, let's do like PenFT and then premium pickles at diamond with the model ship. What are you looking at? Okay, jump scare warning, white screen, and also math. Sorry, this is the board I have in mind though. We'll get to the math in a second. Where you have like this PenFT model ship here, then premium pickles giving 12 per cast twice, and then this is 5 to the whole board twice. Okay, math jump scare time. And you'd probably run like an abacus over here, right? I haven't factored this in, I don't really want to, but it would be something like this, right? So it's 5 times 2 and then 8 because you have your 7 items here, but this has double value in combat. So that's every 3 seconds plus 80 value to the whole board, about. Well, a little less than that, but one of the items is double, or no, yeah, it is 80 value. Excuse me. Which with a diamond skyscraper is every 3 seconds gain 240, which if you factor in the multicast is 480, right? If you're only at gold, that's only 160 damage. With multicast, that's 320 total, right? And then premium pickles is not too far off with plus 72 every 4, which is, you know, a bit less, but you know, that's still 72. It's not too bad. And then, you know, with the multicast. So that is then in the 8 seconds, and maybe I might just be doing math wrong. I'm sorry. I'm doing my best. I think this is correct though. So in those 8 seconds, PenFT is going twice, right? And then premium pickles goes twice, which is plus 912 value to the board total. And then with multicast, what? Okay, something's wrong there. Gotta do more parentheses. So with the multicast, in the 8 seconds it takes for skyscraper to go off, it would have gained 1,800 damage, which is not too bad. And again, that's not factoring in the abacus. I just threw in some other generic items. You know, I guess Crystal Bonzo would be at a fairly high value, and same with rewards card. That's why they're here. I don't know. It sounds pretty cool. This is a fun little thought experiment. I like this. Scaling skyscraper sounds like a very cool board, and maybe it would just be too slow, I guess is the worry. I don't know. I want to try that sometime though. That sounds sick. Anyway, stained glass window, CDR no longer has item count restrictions, so I guess, I don't know. Sure. VIP pass, haste your highest value item 1 to 3 seconds from property. Ooh. Wait, this is cool. Wait, on that board, right? You replace something in here with VIP pass. Probably put the VIP. Let's see. What would it replace? Sorry, let's finish reading the patch notes. Sorry. When you use an adjacent item, it gains 246 value from 468 property. Okay, so both of the property things are gone. Okay, so on this board, what you replace like rewards card with it, have it next to the PenFT. I guess you'd want 2 things. Oh, but then you don't have 2 things next to abacus. Maybe it gets a little tricky to place. But also importantly, now you have haste for the skyscraper, and that's kind of cool. Okay, I will have to try out that board sometime. That sounds so cool. I like these changes. That's so neat. Anyway, hopefully it's actually good. I don't know. Maybe it'll just be too slow to scale. I could see it honestly. But man, wouldn't it be cool? Anyway, Stelle, master mechanic skill renamed from repair mechanic. Okay. Stelle only from all heroes. Okay, good change. I don't know why this was ever all heroes. There's a couple heroes that can do it. You know, you get like Dooley with repair, and then you can play the fucking, I always forget the name of this item. Antimatter chamber, yeah, that's it. And you can like reuse that, right? But I feel like Stelle is definitely the person who uses repair the best. So I'm glad to see it just on her, because now you can just go to the Stelle shop and get the skill that's really cool on Stelle. Oh no, now I won't be able to counter the destroy effects though when I'm playing Vanessa. I don't know, man. I felt like that was kind of fake anyway. Balloon Engine, burn 36912 from 3579. Cool. I fuck with it. Maybe a bit more playable late. I've seen some kind of cool stuff with like Balloon Engine Defender's Flames. That was kind of neat. I saw a shielded one with that, and it was like when you shield gain burn, so it was just scaling the shield even more and scaling the burn. Very cool. I guess, I don't know. The base burn doesn't matter much for that. This is just like adjusting the scaling to be in line. Birdcage, shield 75, 150, 300 from 100, 150, 200. So a little bit nerfed at bronze actually, and then plus 100 at diamond. Umubot is now tech type again. The tech shop is now Dooley and Stelle, hero items only, so a couple more tech types being added. The base damage of Umubot is now just 80 instead of 40, 80, 120, 160, so buffed at bronze. And then the scaling is now 20, 40, 80, 160 instead of 20, 40, 60, 80. Okay, so double the scaling at diamond. Maybe you could play through Boom Boom Bot with the repair. It's kind of cute, maybe. Eject button is now shield 10, 20, 40 instead of 10, 20, 30. Sure, so plus 10 at diamond. Flamejet drone gains tech type. Grabinator, ooh. Cooldown is now 7-6 instead of 8-7. Good change. It's not a great item, but maybe a little bit better now. We'll see. Hang glider. I think this is like the same nerf as flagship, so it's probably fine, honestly. I think this item is pretty strong, but no one plays Stelle. You don't see it that much. And hang glider just scales its own damage anyway. In-flight meal scaling to 50, 100, 200 from 50, 75, 100. So plus 25 at gold and double that diamond. The in-flight meal meta? Maybe. Probably not. Kite cooldown to 4 from 5. Sure. Can't think of anything too crazy for that. I guess you could maybe play some cooler like runabout stuff maybe. Because Kite flies multiple small items, and that's kind of cool. Molten Ball Blaster, the burn is now 10, 20, 30, 40 instead of 10, 15, 20, 25. This is how it was, I think, not on release. I think the first time it ever got a buff. And it was very dominant. It was just like constantly seeing it. And I feel like we already kind of are. I don't know. No one fucking plays Stelle, so I don't fight her very often. But when I do, it's usually Ball Blaster or Wide Weapons early. So a buff to that, I guess. And nerf to the wide weapons, actually. Ornithopter lost its plus damage. That's a little sad. I don't know. It wasn't the biggest thing in the world, but it was nice. I don't know. It's probably still a fine item. It makes stuff fly. That's usually why you played it after, like, day 3. I mean, honestly, you play it early because it makes stuff fly anyway for stuff like aerial turret if you're playing that. Oxygen mask, now when you use another item... instead of okay. I thought the fix here was use another tool because it did not self-charge despite implying that it did, but now it's just anything, which is interesting. Does that matter? Not really. It's a lot more viable for off-class shenanigans, I suppose, right? Okay. Huh. That is kind of cool. I like that. Good change. Oxygen tank now heals 75, 100, 300 for each vehicle instead of 75, 100, 125. 300 per vehicle. Is that good? Okay, so Stelle has 5 small vehicles. So, what, you're looking at 1,500 every 4? That's not terrible. That's not even including the 3 spaces over here, right? If you had another 3, you go up to 2,400 every 4 seconds. I could maybe see it, and honestly, you could probably just play it on the runabout board, and it wouldn't be terrible. I don't know. To be fair, I'm thinking of this thing as if it's going to be diamond. Is a diamond every 4 seconds heal 1,500 really that great late game? Maybe. I don't know. You hit it like obsidian on this thing. Maybe it's kind of cute with a mag shield. I could see it. 4 seconds deal like 3,000. You know, just hit obsidian, of course. Interesting though. I don't know. Oh, fiery maybe not bad either. What? It's 10%. So you'd be burning 150. and then twice, right? So you'd be doing 300 burn every 4. It sounds kind of cool with the mag shield. I could maybe see it. I don't know if 300 burn every 4 is good enough for late game. It doesn't sound that bad. Pilot's Wing, sorry. I'm rambling too much, but the sounds kind of interesting. Current design has limited use and too many restrictions. When you use a flying item, haste it for 1, 2, 3, 4 seconds. Sorry, 1, 2, 3 seconds. It does not start at bronze, excuse me. That's kind of cool. It's just headset, but different. Neat, I guess. Recycler bot gains tech type. Sure, why not? Steam washer is now burned 7, 14, 21, 28 from 8, 16, sorry, 8, 12, 16, 20. So better scaling later, but little like 1 worse early. Who cares? Vortex cannon is now just 4 seconds cooldown across the board instead of 5 seconds, 4 seconds. And then Windbreaker is now, I guess this is the base shield? Yeah. Now base shield of 25, 50, 100 instead of 25, 50, 75. All right, on to Vanessa. Ice bullets. The first 4, 8 times use an ammo item each fight. Charge a freeze item 1 second. I think this sounds a lot worse. Well, I don't know. It sounds a lot worse than the relic one for Mac, right? I could maybe see it with depth charge. The issue with that is I feel like you're usually playing Yeti crabs, which is gonna like 50-50 the charges, but it still could be good. I could see it. You just take the 50-50 and hope you hit. That's the only thing that's really coming to mind. I don't know, maybe fucking Ice Pick goes crazy with it. Like Vanessa really does only have 4 freeze items. It's Ice Pick, Yeti crab, depth charge. What's the? Oh yeah, Iceberg. So it can't even be charged. Huh? I don't know. It sounds okay for depth charge. We'll see. Calico, damage to 20, 40, 80, 160 instead of 15, 30, 60, 120. Sure, just a buff, I guess. Catfish, poison scaling to 3, 6, 9, 12 instead of 2, 4, 6, 8. So not too bad. Maybe we'll see some early catfish. Maybe. I don't know. It's like not the worst ever. It's not great compared to a lot of the stuff Vanessa's doing early, though. If you get an enchanted one, it kind of goes crazy, though. Maybe. Cauterizing Blade burn 6 baseline from 2, and the scaling is now 10, 20, 40 on the damage, and then 3, 6, 9 for the burn instead of 10, 20, 40 damage and 2, 4, 6 burn. So 3 higher burn at Diamond, which is kind of cool to see. I've been seeing this thing a surprising amount this season. I don't know why. Maybe it's just the randomness of the ghost pools, because I don't know what would have made this suddenly playable, but I swear I've seen this like 10 times this patch, which maybe doesn't sound like that much, but anyway. Chum now scales aquatic and food crit chance. Sure, if you get some off-class jewel stuff, I guess. Dart launcher is now ammo 3. Remove the damage and weapon tags. Remove adjacency requirements for slow and poison. So this is just what, every 4 seconds, poison like 2 and then slow. Is it slow 1 at silver? It is slow 1, yeah. Okay. I guess 4 seconds slow 3 is good at diamond. It sounds fine. Flagship nerfed again. -5 damage. GG, it's over. Flagship is dead. We did it. And then at gold it's -10, and then diamond is -20, which is like a number instead of 5. I don't know, I think it's gonna be fine. I do hope they get this to a point where it doesn't feel so disgusting. I know, I feel like most of the time when I see a flagship on the opponent's board, I just roll my eyes and accept that I'm dead. But I do appreciate them trying to make this playable. It hasn't been for a while. Grappling hook is now cooldown 6, 2 targets at all tiers. What? Okay, it doesn't slow anymore? Weird. Okay. So yeah, 6 seconds and then haste 2 targets for 1, 2, 3, 4 seconds. Okay. Interesting. That feels so strange. No slow grappling hook. It's doing haste now. What a weirdo. I can't say I hate it. I have just played Zorkid in the past with no burn for the sake of, you know, just some haste on a weapon board. This is kind of like that. Weird. For early shrimp, though, I feel like you don't have very many like slow options early if you do end up playing through shrimp. Interesting. Ice Pick is now 15, 30, 60 damage. I guess this is baseline, so plus 15 at diamond. Sure. I think they're just cleaning up some of the scaling that they missed earlier. Jete buff, plus 10 base damage. Oh wait, no, this is scaling. Excuse me. I thought this was just base damage. This is the scaling. Okay. So the scaling is 10 better at diamond. Sure, I guess. Mantis Shrimp maybe buffed to make up for grappling hook, I guess. I don't know. It is now 10, 20, 40, 80 instead of 10, 15, 20, 25. So this is actually a huge buff. Whoa. 55 damage buff to the scaling at diamond. And then the burn is also 2, 4, 6, 8 instead of 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. Mantis Shrimp. It's kind of cool. Card table's pretty good now too. Maybe we're playing card table Mantis Shrimp. I ran that a couple times actually when this item. I think this might just be how Mantis Shrimp was on release, or maybe like after a buff or two when it was viable and everyone was kind of playing it. Kind of cool. Anyway, Mr. Richardson has plus 5 shield scaling at diamond. Same with Salt Claw. It looks like Nesting Doll gains 1 ammo at the start of a day at all rarities instead of 1, 2, 3 ammo at the start of day start. Oh, but the shield went up a lot. This is now shield equal to 5, 10, 15 times this item's ammo instead of just from this item's ammo. It's kind of cool. What? This is 8 ammo. Earliest you could get is day 2. So you pick this thing up day 2, you get to day 10, you're at 17 ammo. It's doing 255 shield every 2. Oh, terrible. Maybe load some gunpowders into it. I mean, to be fair, the 255 goes down each time, right? But kind of cool, I guess. I love this change. I saw this one already. Powder Horn, cooldown to 3. Ramrod, cooldown to 4. Yeah. I think that's very fair. I don't know. I'm sure Ramrod will still have a place. The full reload is really, really good in stuff like the Blunderbuss Infinites. But I also appreciate the Powder Horn's a bit better now. You can play that with the rifle instead, is the idea. I haven't really... I have played Powder Horn recently. It's never been... Like, I would have just rather played Ramrod, basically. In almost every situation. I like it, though. Seaweed heal scaling is now 5, 10, 20, 40 instead of 5, 10, 15, 20. Sure. So, like, double that diamond. Plus 5 at gold. Kind of cool. Who's playing Diamond Seaweed? I don't know. But... maybe at 40 it's good. Stealth Glider is kind of interesting. This is take 25% less damage, so instead of 10% for each non-glider flying item. And then your flying items have their cooldowns reduced by 1, which is interesting. Stealth Glider itself is a 2-second item that makes stuff fly, so if it hits itself, it just becomes a 1 second, which is kind of neat. Gets everything flying. What are you doing with this? You could reduce like Submarine to 1 second, Katana to 1 second. Anything else that's like really crazy to reduce by 1? I can see it on Marlin boards. You take Marlin down to a 2 second, then you just play that with Swashbuckle with a board of fast flying items. I guess you'd only have 3 other items though. That might be a little tough actually. You could make Rifle a 1 second. Kind of interesting. I don't know, rifle, and then you get gunpowders for it with a ramrod to fully reload every couple of seconds. I could see that. That is kind of cool. Oh, that would be sick. I gotta try for that sometime. It's what, plus 80 per? Okay, I could see it. Of course, Nesting Doll, you could get down to 1 second. Maybe. That's all that's coming to mind right now. Alright, torpedo damage scaling now 40, 80, 160 instead of 40, 80, 120. So, a bit better at diamond. Cool to see. I feel like this item does kind of fall off late. Maybe this will help it. And then we're at the end with this little teaser of the possible new hero. Maybe. Who knows? I would love to see a dragon themed hero with music. It sounds like a fun little theme. I fuck with it. Hold on, did they... No, the image itself is called Ready to Rock. Last time this happened with Karnok, I think they titled the image something like Karnok Teaser. Just told you the hero's name on accident. was kind of funny. Anyway, that's all for these patch notes. Honestly, a bit more of an exciting patch than I thought it would be. Again, I imagine the devs are working on the new hero, but this patch doesn't sound too bad. There's some cool stuff. I really like the new merchants. I think honestly, my favorite part of this update might be Wink. I would love more excuse to click this thing. Especially unlike last patch, there's nothing I'm really rushing to try on every hero, at least not on Dooley. I want to mess around with the balloon bot. That's kind of it. Jules has a ton of stuff. I'll probably play a lot of Jules. There's some really neat stuff here. The salt, the new dragon steak, cheese wheel buff. Oh yeah, resistance band's very cool. Nothing too crazy on Mac. Pig's got a lot of cool stuff. I want to mess around with drum, and I really want to try out that like wide value scaling skyscraper board. It sounds very cool. Coolest thing from Stelle, I think, is this oxygen tank. I kind of want to try this out. Maybe it's gonna suck, but it would be really neat, right? And then on Vanessa, the stealth glider sounds really neat. I want to mess around with some rifle stuff on that. I think sounds pretty cool. So yeah, fairly excited to play most of the heroes except, you know, Dooley, Karnok, Mac. No, there's the Karnok thing. Yeah, Dooley and Mac. I don't know. There's still stuff to do, of course. Last patch was really nice though. There was something I want to do on everyone, but you know, it's okay. It happens. And again, it's a bit of a smaller patch, I'd say. I don't know. I say smaller patch, and this video is still like an hour and 20 minutes. Anyway, I don't know why I'm getting so down. I just like going through all the heroes and talking about what I'm excited to play through at the end of these. Anyway, that's all for this video. It's a neat little patch, and then, you know, I'm excited for maybe new hero next month, or maybe just teasers for new heroes. Who knows? Or maybe not a new hero at all. Maybe it's an event. I don't know anything. I would never break NDA. What? No, I actually don't know that much. I haven't checked on the test server in a while. Anyway, cool patch. I'm glad the devs are keeping up with updating the game. I like these monthly patches. And also, there's going to be a, like, in the middle of this month, a hotfix I think they said they're going to do from now on. So we'll see what that's all about. Anyway, I will be streaming later. Let's see, this video will be out. I'll probably be live 3 hours after this video comes out, or I'll probably just have the pre-stream up by then. I'll be playing the new patch, trying out new stuff. Should be a good time. Anyway, thank you very much for watching. If you want to see more, feel free to subscribe. If you want to help me out, consider leaving a like. Sorry, I'm dying at the end here with the cough. Anyway, if you want to see more, feel free to subscribe. If you want to help me out, consider leaving a like. It helps with algorithm stuff and whatnot. See ya.